and welcome to Committee and Field in Holliston, Massachusetts on Friday, October 5th for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Football 2018. It's found only on HCAT TV. Tonight, the Panthers host the defending Tri-Valley League Large champs, the Hopkinton Hillers, in the annual battle for H-Town. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is the color man who's always defending his crown, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, Holliston rolled over Medfield last week, and Hopkinton is still stinging from a last-minute loss to Ashland on a fake extra point. How does it look for the Panthers tonight?
Well, you know, Tom, if you can go by comparative scores, it looks incredibly great for Holliston tonight. But the problem is you don't go by comparative scores. You go by the matchups at this date, this time, in this environment. And right now you've got a team, a Hopkinton team that's really kind of loaded for bear. I think they really thought they were going to have a shot at winning this league and beating Ashland easily, I think. And along comes now Holliston, who's really had pretty much their own way in the 3 games they played. So this is the first really big test, I think, for Holliston. We're really going to find out tonight what this team is made of. And also I think we're going to find out a lot of where Hopkinton's going.
Should be a great battle. If Hopkinton is stinging from their loss to Ashland, I think these Panthers are still stinging from their 12-8 loss last year in Hopkinton.
Right, a very winnable game, but you know, Hopkinton had a really good team last year, and you know, I think it might be a little different this year. It's hard to tell because Hopkinton really had a big win at Wayland to open the season, but since then they've only been so-so. And, you know, like I said, Holliston has won each of their games actually quite handily.
Captains are out for the coin toss for the Panthers. Number 72, Scott Elliott. Number 57, Will Crowley. And number 11, Henry Naughton. Holliston comes into this game with a record of 3-0, 1-0 in the Tri-Valley League, averaging 36 points a game on offense, giving up just 7 points a game on defense. Todd Kiley, their head coach, is in his 16th season with the Panthers. He has 132 wins against 42 losses. The Hopkinton Hillers record is 2-2. They are 0-1 in the TVL Large. They're averaging 16 points a game on offense, giving up 11 on the defense. Their head coach, Jim Garrard, in his 9th season with the Hillers, his record is 59-33.
Holliston will take the ball first at the kickoff, and we'll see the offense out on the field right away.
We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. And now, HCAT's onboard statistician Carlos Canto with Los's pregame lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. Last year's matchup between these two teams was a defensive struggle, with Hopkinton emerging with a slim 12-8 victory over the Panthers. It was a game the Hillers won via turnover margin, capitalizing on 2 Holliston giveaways, an interception, and a fumble. And it could come down to just that again tonight. Over the last 6 years in this series, only once has the team that has lost the turnover margin gone on to win the game. If the Panthers are to avenge last year's loss, they'll most likely need to come out ahead in that column tonight. The temperature on the field at kickoff, a cool 53 degrees with clear skies. Sweatshirt weather has arrived.
Thank you, Los. Number 2, Billy Nash, and number 24, Mitch Gimblett, back to receive the kick for the Panthers. Kick is going to bounce in front of Gimblett. He picks it up at the 17-yard line, splits a couple of Hillers, and he's out to the 47-yard line for the Panthers.
Well, this is a big game, Tom, for both these teams for several reasons. Obviously, first and foremost, it's a big rivalry game, and that's what we love the most. The other thing is it's going to certainly have TVL Large title implications, and finally it's going to have implications on the state playoff schedule. And, you know, if someone's lucky enough to win out this series, the next 3 games, they're going to get some home games. So it's a big game for both these teams.
Number 6, Matt Arbonitis in at quarterback. Number 21, Tristan Benson, the tailback. Anthony DeZendel at number 5, split to the right. Topher Ryan is the tight end to the right. Flag flies as the handoff goes to Benson. But that'll back the Panthers up 5. They'll start again. Thanks to Ken Dunn, we know the all-time record between these two teams. This is the 67th time Holliston and Hopkinton have met on the field of battle. The Panthers winning 37 times, losing 28 with one tie.
Actually, it's an offsides on Hopkinton, so Holliston will have a 1st and 5.
So a little break for the Panthers to start. Connor Mulvaney is the tight end, number 4 to the left. Arvanitis hands it off to Benson. Gain of 2, 2nd down.
Well, Kristen Benson had a tremendous game last week at Medfield, and he's the sophomore. He's a really good runner, strong runner, runs with a lot of movement. He has cut quickly, he has good speed, and for the size you wouldn't realize it, but he can run between the tackles. Good all-around runner for Holliston.
Benson has rushed 30 times for 245 yards, an 8.2 average, and 3 touchdowns. He had 138 yards last week against Medfield. 2nd down and 4. Handoff, fake to Benson, dumps it to number 10, Topher Ryan, skips away from one tackler. He's inside the 35 to the 34.
Quarterbacks love to look at their tight ends when they get in situations where tight, short yardage or sometimes around the goal line. And Holliston's got a good one. Topher Ryan is really developing into a top tight end here for Holliston.
And I like the way that Arvanitis and Benson are really selling the fakes, helping to draw the defense. 9-17, no score in the first quarter. Panthers on their first drive. Benson around the right side, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 22. Going to be close to a 1st down.
Well, Holliston's signature this year has really been the great play by the defense and the great play by the offensive line. Of course, all the skill position players, too. But that offensive line looks like right now they're getting in control of this game early on.
Up front for the Panthers, number 50, Sam Lynch. Number 72, Scott Elliott. 54, Ryan Burchard. Number 55, Zach Athey. And number 57, Will Crowley. They go to Benson again. This time he's caught behind the line of scrimmage. He did pick up the 1st down on that last play. So it'll be 2nd down and 11 after the loss of 1.
8:40 left to go in the first quarter. Obviously no score and Holliston marching.
Dylan Ibbotson, number 22, checks in for Holliston. Ibbotson and Benson split the duties in the backfield. Ibbotson's rushed for 158 yards, a 6.6 average, and he's got 4 touchdowns on the season.
And another very strong runner for Holliston who has good moves, and boy, he can stop on a dime, and he can really accelerate out of the stop position too. So good running back for Holliston.
DeZendelet and Nash split to the left. Ryan in motion to the right. Handoff to Ibbotson, and behind Ryan, and he's inside the 20-yard line. Gain of, see where they mark him, 3rd down.
We talked about Topher Ryan as a tight end and his pass catching abilities, but he's also a big, strong kid. He can get in there and move some of those defensive linemen and defensive linebackers.
So 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. DeZendelet swings wide to the right. Arvanitis looks left, throws incomplete, intended for Nash. And that'll bring up 4th down and 8.
Well, he threw that short, and it might have been a good thing he threw it short because the Hopkinton defender was right on that pass, and he was just kind of waiting for Matt Arvanitis to throw that ball in that direction. He might have picked it off and gone a long way. So I'm not sure if Matt saw that or not, but fortunately he wasn't able to get to the ball.
7:25 to go in the first quarter. Panthers have driven from their 47-yard line, but faced with a 4th and 8 at the 19. DeZendelet to the right. Nash in the slot to the right. Topher Ryan, tight end to the right. Holliston needs a timeout with 7:25 to go in the first quarter and no score. So DeZindelet and Nash to the left. Connor Mulvaney in motion to the left. Arvanitis rolls to his left. Flags fly. Pass is complete.
Yeah, this is coming back for a hold, unfortunately, and it's almost really a takedown.
So it'll be 4th and 18 after they step this off. Arvanitis on the season. 19 completions and 31 attempts, 364 yards and 4 touchdowns for number 6.
So a hold by Holliston takes away the first down and be, as you said, Tom, 4th and 17, 18.
Holliston's new voice, Jack Harper, calling out 4th and 17. Nice to work with such a pro like that.
He is a pro. No, he really is a pro.
A pro and a legend.
Wait
All
a
right,
minute.
big down for the Panthers. The crowd starts to pick it up. They're right in front of the Red Sea. 7:18 to go in the first quarter. 3 to the right. Flag flies. Arvanitis down the middle and overthrows Nash. Got a personal foul.
Looks like roughing the passer here, but there was another. It looked like another flag came in before this. I don't know if someone was offsides or if it was movement in Holliston.
Well, the referees are going to talk it over. 7:11 to go in the first quarter, and we've got our first zebra convention.
I mean, if this roughing the passer holds, it'll be an automatic first down.
And they do have procedure against the Panthers, and it offsets.
Now they're going to ask what the personal foul is. So the 2 offsets, so you're going to run the play over again. Right.
Well, you still had the penalty. A penalty, it can be a dead ball penalty. Roughing is roughing.
So we're going to go over, play that one over again.
So they're going to do 4th down and 17 over again. This time, DeZindelet, Nash, and Ryan move to the left. Benson and Mulvaney to the right. Low snap. Arvanitis scoops it up, gets away from one defender. Fires it deep to the end zone, but incomplete. And so the first Panther drive will be turned over on downs at the 29-yard line.
Well, that could have been a lot worse than that, Tom, because the center snap didn't quite reach Matt Arvanitis, and he did. You know, Matt is incredibly athletic, and he was able to pick that ball up, kind of go to the left a little bit, turn around, come back all the way to the right, beat a couple defenders, and at least get the ball off and save Holliston probably another 8 or 10 yards. So nice job by Matt Arvanitis.
The quarterback for the Hillers, number 5, Captain Ryan Kelleher, the all-time touchdown leader with 37 touchdowns for Hopkinton. He fires on first down, and it's incomplete. DeZindelet on the defense.
Well, this defense has really been special for Holliston this year, and Anthony DeZindelet back there is a big part of it.
Kelleher has thrown for over 3,000 yards in his career. He's only 210 from the all-time Hopkinton record. Last year he threw for 2,000 yards and 26 touchdowns. Second down and 10.
Matt Kelleher is a good one.
Kelleher rolls right. fires, complete. Hit right away by Schneelock, pushed out of bounds. That'll be third down. 3rd and 5. Up front for the Panthers, 51, David Harding. Number 72, Scott Elliott. Number 57, Will Crowley. DeZindelet at one cornerback spot. Number 26, Christian Schneelock at the other. Matt Tomaselli, number 12, and 24, Mitch Gimblett are your safeties. So 3rd down and 5. Kelleher throwing again, and it's too hard for number 21, Zach Frank, and that will bring up 4th down.
Matt Kelleher has a rocket for an arm, and throw that pass incredibly hard. A little too low for the receiver, but boy, he get that ball off quickly, and he throws a nice pass.
So Gimblett and Nash drop back to receive the punt from number 12, Brendan Kelly. 6:11 to go in the first quarter, no score. Punt lands at the 41 and comes to a stop at the 36-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will start their second offensive drive of the night.
You know, last week Hopkinton played a really big game against Ashland, and it was a big defensive game. Both teams only scoring one touchdown. And, it came out. I thought that Hopkinton would probably score a lot more points last week. They didn't, of course. Ashland has a really good defense. So, as you said, Tom, earlier on, we might be seeing a defensive battle here.
Todd Kiley is 11-4 in his career against Hopkinton, and he's 6-1 at home against the Hillers. Jim Garrard is 1-7 against the Panthers. His only win coming last year. Benson, the lone back. They hand it to Benson, or fake to Benson. I tell you, really selling that fake. And Arvanitis puts the ball down on his hip, and you're really lost for a while. Pass is incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
One of the things when you're playing a good defensive team is you don't want a lot of plays that are going to be long developing. You want to get some quick passes, quick runs, quick hitters in there to kind of keep them a little bit off balance. When a good defensive team has time on a long developing play, they can make their adjustments and do what they need to do. So Holliston's probably going to have to pick this up a little bit.
Clock stop with 5:47 to go in the first quarter. No score. Thanks for joining us on Facebook Live. Enjoying your Panther football on HCAT TV, and we got a timeout on the field. Zindelet, Nash, and Mulvaney. Mulvaney slides over, and this play does not get started. We got another flag.
That's going to be a false start again. And I don't know if they're calling it. I don't know that the back who's coming across and going to be to set the blocks, I don't know if he's moving forward instead of sideways. I really haven't seen a lot from the line, so I can't really tell exactly what they're calling. But I have seen that back coming across. He'll kind of skip a little bit, come across, and it looks like he may be leaning forward. That may be the issue here.
Nash swings to the other side of the formation. Mulvaney slides over. Handoff to Benson. Big hole. Hits the brakes at the sideline. Keeps his legs pumping and has a first down near midfield. So the Panthers on 2nd and 15 get it all back and more.
Well, when the coaches see that, they're going to really love the block that Zach Athey put on the defensive end there. He just really knocked him all the way out of the play and made a big hole that Tristan Benson took advantage of for a first down. Nice blocking job there by Zach Athey.
Comedian Field has been very, very good to the Panthers since 2009. They are 45 wins and just 7 losses. Hopkinton 22 and 15 on the road since 2010. This Panther crowd and Comedian Field is whipping it up now after that first down. Hand off to Benson again, right side. He picks up 2. Second down and 8.
You know, you have Tristan, of course, and now Dylan Ibbotson comes in, and they're both really, really good runners. And what this does is keeps both these running backs fresh.
Coach Kiley signaling in the play. Number 22, Dylan Ibbotson in at the running back spot. Number 13, Teddy Ratcliffe in at the slot back. Ibbotson, right side, quickly through to the 45, a gain of 5.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, what he can do. When he comes out, you'll see him. He will plant that left foot, and he'll make a very, very sharp move, and then he can go 0 to 60 in like 0.9 seconds or something. He's just really very quick.
Ibbotson with 384 career yards and 9 touchdowns for Holliston. 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers. They put Ratcliffe and Nash to the left. DeZindelet with Ryan as the tight end to the right. Fake to Benson. Arbonitis rolls, looks deep, connects with number 10, Topher Ryan. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, you know, I saw Matt Arbonitis. Obviously, that's a great throw, a great catch, a great blocking. But the big thing that really sold that was the great fake that Matt Arbonitis made, and he brought that whole Hopkinton defense in the opposite direction. They thought that's where the ball was going. I think it was the fake was to Ibbotson, but everybody bought it. Matt Arbonitis went out there, and of course, he made an incredible throw. Nice catch by Topher Ryan. I told you, this tight end, Topher Ryan, they really like him.
Mulvaney lines up for the extra point. Brian Gary with the hold. It's up, it's good, and with 3:52 to go in the first quarter, the Panthers are on the board. First, 7-0. Arbonitis, a 45-yard touchdown pass to Topher Ryan. Ryan's first touchdown of the season, the second of his career, and Arbonitis' 5th touchdown pass of the season, the 6th of his Panther career.
5 plays, 64 yards. 2 minutes and 5 seconds on that scoring drive by the Panthers.
Yeah, thanks, Los. And the two things we saw there, obviously, is like I said, you get those quick snaps, quick open, a quick developing play. That's a trademark for Holliston. The other thing was, as I said earlier, you know, you kind of sometimes they feel themselves out. Holliston does a little bit with kind of like a little boxing match in that the first or second drive, and then they come out and they explode, and that's exactly what happened there. So nice play, but boy, what a nice job by Matt Arbonitis. That fake, and you know the other thing is too, it's not just a quarterback on that fake. Dylan Ibbotson followed that fake all the way through. He got tackled over here, but I'm sure he's happy about that.
Connor Mulvaney, that's his 31st extra point of his Panther career. He is now 10th on the all-time list. Hopkinton with the return and a flag in the middle of that pile as the return man takes it to the 35.
Yeah, this is a holding call on Hopkinton, so the ball will be back 10 yards.
So with 3:43 to go in the first quarter, Panthers lead 7-0. And the Hillers are going to start back at their own 25-yard line. Kelleher this season is 40 of 74, 616 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he's rushed for 200 yards.
And that's really key, and you want to watch that right here because if for some reason his passing's a little bit off, he will run with the ball.
Brendan Kelly, the lone wide receiver, split to the right. Handoff is number 24, Matt Brown, and he is brought down. Number 51, David Harding on the tackle.
David Harding on a great form tackle is what happened there. He got slowed up a little bit, and David came in and made a very nice tackle.
Matt Brown, the senior running back, 69 rushes, 303 yards, a 4.2 average, and 2 touchdowns on the season. He's been the backbone for the Hopkinton run game. Clock running with 3:10 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Panthers. Kelleher rolls right. Fires deep. Incomplete. Intended for Luke DeLoya, number 7. That's his number 1 target.
Well, Kelleher, it's a good thing Kelleher's got some speed because Kevin Lyons came off the right defensive side there, and he was basically almost untouched. He beat his defender so easily. He was almost untouched, and he was right on the tail of Kelleher. If Kelleher didn't get that pass off, he would have been sacked. Watch that tonight. Coach Athey will come. He'll get very aggressive, especially in a play like this where it's 3rd and long.
Linebackers for the Panthers, number 17, Sean Keese, number 4, Connor Mulvaney, number 32, Kevin Lyons, and number 22, Dylan Ibbotson. Kelleher back to pass, lofts it up deep, but too far, intended for Brown.
Well, in Kelleher's defense, David Harding's in on him so quickly that he just had to go back and chuck the ball up in the air. He really isn't getting any time back there. And that's good to see from a Holliston point of view, because if this defense can get back to that quarterback that quickly, it could make for a long night for Kelleher.
Well, the Panther defense forces another 3 and out. And so Brendan Kelly to punt. His punt's going to be fielded by Mitch Gimblett, and he is stopped at the 40-yard line.
Well, Mitch Gimblett, he's the guy who never met a punt he doesn't want to run back. I love it. He's fearless. He does a really nice job, catches the ball, secures it, and takes off downfield for Holliston.
But good field position for the Panthers at their own 40-yard line.
And that's the other thing, a lot of times it's not just when a punt returner catches the ball, it's not just the yards he makes by going downfield. It's also by catching the ball doesn't go in the other direction and give them worse field position. So nice job by Mitch Gimblett.
2:37 to go in the first quarter. Panthers up 7-0. Two receivers to Arvanitis' left. Handoff is to Benson. He slashes right up the middle, splits a couple of defenders inside the 35-yard line. First down, Panthers.
And he showed all he had right there. What he did right there, Tristan, is he used his strength to blow through the middle of that line and then use his speed to get out and get the first down. Nice run by him. And once again, that offensive line needs some credit because they're doing a number on Hopkinton right now.
First quarter isn't even over yet, but the Panthers have 125 yards of offense, 60 of those from Tristan Benson.
Wow. Thank you, Los. So number 21 taking advantage of those big holes for the offensive line is making. They've got a first down at the 34-yard line. Ryan in motion to the right. Handoff to Benson, right off the right guard. He muscles his way forward to the 31, second down.
Yeah, the other thing that happens, when you have an offensive line like Holliston's and you're running the ball this much, even sometimes you get 2-3 yards at a clip, that's okay because what you're doing is you're wearing down that defensive front, and that's going to start showing near the end of the third and into the fourth quarter.
So second down and 8. Ibbotson, 22, comes in at the running back spot. Clock running with 1:18 to go in this first quarter. Panthers driving from their own 40, just shy of the 30. Fake to Ibbotson. Arvanitis looks downfield, puts one up, and Topher Ryan had a step on Matt Brown, but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, that came out of Matt's hand a little funny. It's kind of a wobbly pass. I didn't think it would even go that far. Matt Ryan really has a nice arm. He put that ball way down there, and I thought there was no way that was going to come anywhere near Topher Ryan, But Topher was almost in one more step. He would have had that for another touchdown.
So it'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for Holliston.
This is 2-down territory, obviously, so you really don't need it all at once here.
1 minute even to go in the quarter. Holliston right in front of the Red Sea. Arvanitis looks left, fires left. Just a little wide of Nash. That'll bring up 4th down. Great crowd here at Comedian Field. Of course, Hopkinton very close. Their stands, they've got a whiteout on the Hopkinton crowd.
Yeah, they travel well, too. Not as well as Holliston. I don't think anyone travels as well as Holliston, but Hopkinton travels pretty well. You know, they're coming off a big season and expecting another big season, so gets the guys, the kids, and the parents kind of amped up.
Arvanitis rolls right away from the rush. Throws it down the sideline, incomplete. And the Panthers will turn it over on downs at the 31-yard line. 46 seconds to go in the first quarter.
There were 2 men who blitzed on that. How did Matt Arvanitis get away from them? It's amazing. They both came up. They were right there, and he just kind of pulled away from them with his speed and got the ball off.
Usually that means when you can get away from 2 blitzers like that, Jay, you've got one-on-one coverage downfield and can take advantage of it.
Or if he was going to the wide side of the field, what would have happened is he probably would have been able to turn on the jets and get the first down himself.
Kelleher fires right, but into the ground, incomplete.
The only thing right now that I'd really like to see the Holliston, some of these defenders do a little bit better, is when they get that close and they know they're not going to get it, put those hands up. Don't give Kelleher that passing lane. Get those hands up. And even if you can't get to Kelleher and make the sack, you can at least make him throw the ball away. And that's kind of what happened there. I think that might have been Lynch again who got in there. I'm not sure.
Kelleher was
Kevin Lyons.
Kelleher was just 4 of 12 for 67 yards with a touchdown and an interception against Ashland last week.
Right, but at any time he can go deep. And
hand off to Brown. Lyons got a hand on him. And the Panthers push the pile, especially number 72, push it backwards.
Well, 72 is going to be pushing a lot of piles backwards this year, as he's done in the past, both offensively and defensively. Of course, that's Scott Elliott, the great Holliston lineman who's committed already to Harvard. He'll be going there next year.
So 3rd down and 10, no gain on the play. And Hopkinton's going to let the clock run out. That'll do it in the end of the first quarter. Panthers 7, Hillers nothing. So 3rd down and 10 for the Hillers as we change sides of the field and start the second quarter. Kelleher rolls left. Fires too high, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down and three and outs in a row for the Hillers.
Yeah, and what was happening there was Kelleher and the Hopkinton offense was expecting a blitz out of Holliston, and they just didn't do that. What they did is they fell back into the passing lanes, and there was no place there for Kelleher to throw the ball.
This Panther defense has been stifling. They've only given up 108 yards a game, Jay. 53 on the ground, 55 through the air, and only given up two touchdowns. One of the touchdowns was a fumble in the end zone by the offense, so they're really outstanding this season.
And they've only given up 5 yards tonight, and that's after a whole quarter of play.
Oh, Brendan Kelly's punt takes an incredible Hiller bounce inside the 10-yard line.
Great punt, but while we're talking about that defense, there's 2 things I really want to bring up. They're very physical. They're physical. They're fast. They're quick, but they're also very intelligent, and they're very, very well coached. And they listen to the coach, and they follow his instructions. And you see what happens when everybody is where they're supposed to be. It's a lot easier to play defense, and Holliston has really done that this year. So kudos to the coaching staff and the kids.
Bob the Greek checked in, our prognosticator on HCAT. He sees this game as 28-13 Holliston, unlike T.D. Pointer, who picked the Hillers.
Oh, you'll never let that go, will you?
No, I won't. 10:37 to go in the second quarter. Panthers go to war with Matt Tomaselli in at quarterback, and he pitches it to, I think that was Ibbotson.
Look at him with the pile.
Big
Yeah.
scrum pile that pushes forward for a first down. So the Panthers blast out of trouble going from the 7 to the 17.
Well, you know, when you got that big offensive line in front of you, and then you got the power of Dylan Ibbotson to run the ball, that's a big plus for Holliston.
So Ibbotson to the left wing, DeZindelet to the right wing. Zach Athey, number 55, is the fullback. Matt Tomaselli, the quarterback. They try Ibbotson on the right side again. No gain on the play, second down. Also coming in, number 78, Gabe Medeiros. It moves up front into Athey's spot. Connor Mulvaney at one tight end with Topher Ryan on the other side. So your front seven got a good push on that first down, on that 2 plays ago.
The other thing, Matt Tomaselli, the senior quarterback, has a pretty good arm, so he can throw out of this formation. This is offside.
Play
I believe
to
this is
Zindelet.
offside.
He's tackled for a loss, but there's a flag.
Now somebody moved from Holliston. I couldn't see if it was a back on, if it was a legal move. If it was, then it's offside. Otherwise, it's on Holliston. So let's see what the call is here. That looks like it's against Holliston.
No, against Hopkinton, Jay.
It is against Hopkinton. Good.
So an easy 5 for the Panthers brings up a second down and 5. That's the second time that the Hillers have lined up offsides.
Well, there's something that Holliston is doing to make those guys jump, and I'm not quite sure. Of course, we can't hear what the snap count is, but Holliston now goes back to the spread.
Radcliffe moves to the right. Arvanitis with Benson as the lone back. Fake to Benson. Arvanitis rolls. Fires downfield, wide open. Topher Ryan with the catch at the 40. Touchdown, Panthers!
Sometimes, as an announcer, you get really lucky and you say something really smart at the beginning of the game. And fortunately, I said that tonight about Topher Ryan and how Matt Arvanitis and Topher Ryan are really developing a good relationship there. And there it is, the second time tonight. And once again, great fake by Matt Arvanitis to allow him to roll out and throw a nice pass to Topher.
A 76-yard beauty, and the Panthers are up 13-0.
75 yards on the touchdown pass.
Mulvaney's extra point kick is strong and good with 8:46 to go in the first half. The Panthers lead the Hillers 14-0. So for Matt Arvanitis, his 6th touchdown of the season, second of this game to Topher Ryan, 76 yards, Jay. Wow.
Yeah, and I think what's happening is they're trying to take DeZindelet and some of these other receivers out of the game, and they're leaving the big tight end. And I'll tell you, he's really good, Topher. And, you know, like I said, I think they have a nice relationship to the quarterback. When a quarterback and a tight end have a nice relationship, as you people who root for New England know, it makes a big, big difference for the offense. And when your tight end is really good, he's got good hands and speed and size, that's really good for the offense. So Holliston right now is kind of putting it all together. Now you're at the point of the game where, in fact, it's interesting now. They're going to kind of, I don't know, squib this kick, but they're going to try and not kick it too deep here. Keep it away from the kick returners. But
Matt Brown and Luke DeLoya, number 7.
I don't think they want DeLoya to get his hands on this.
Mulvaney
wow.
kicks it to Matt Brown, takes it at the 15. He makes his way across the 30 to the 35.
That's a good run back, and it's surprising that the ball got up in the air the way it was sitting kind of flat on the tee there.
So Topher Ryan coming into this game, the tight end, with 5 catches for 90 yards. And already he's got 134 yards on 2 catches and 2 touchdowns. Bring out the record book.
Well, I'm putting him on my fantasy team next week. There's no doubt about that.
Well, you're too late. You should have put him on this week.
There you go. 8:37 left to go in the first half. Holliston up 14-0.
I might
Hopkinton with the
outbid
ball.
you for that, Jed. So Kelleher trying to get the Hillers going. The Panther defense smelling blood to dig in here. Kelleher unloads it quickly to DeLoya on the outside. He's pushed out of bounds. Gain of 5 or 6, second down.
Yeah, and that's the big combination right there, Kelleher to DeLoya. And I think they expect a real lot out of that this year going forward. They already had a couple of really nice games. DeLoya has had some really nice games catching the ball.
Number 7 is a senior captain. 17 catches for 268 yards, 4 touchdowns. And his uncle is?
Lou Maloney.
That's right. Former Red Sox great.
Oh,
Framingham
and
legend.
after this play, I have a little trivia for you.
2nd and 5. Fake handoff to Brown. And Kelleher takes it into the line, but he is tackled by number 22, Dylan Ibbotson.
Last week, we talked a little bit about the record books and everything, and the name you brought up was Brent Bartolini.
Yes.
Right? You asked me if he's related to the great Joe Bartolini, who owns Granite Landscape.
Yeah.
But it's Joe's nephew, but it's also Fred Willis's nephew.
Oh.
Brent's mother is Fred Willis's sister. So that's why he had the great skill. For those who don't know, Fred Willis was a great running back for Boston College and went on to play at Houston and maybe 1 or 2 other stops. From Natick, Mass.
3rd down and 2 for the Hillers. Kelleher fires. Incomplete, bounced on the ground in front of number 3, Salyards. That brings up 4th down and 2. Decision time for Coach Garrard.
Yeah, it is decision time because he knows if he doesn't get this, he's going to be giving Holliston a short field with about 7 minutes left in the first half. So, but you know what? I really like this. I like the fact that the coach has the faith in his offense to let him do this. I'd be very careful about Kelleher. Watch him running the ball here. Got to make sure to contain him. Don't let him outside.
Well, first he's going to try to draw the Panthers off with a hard count. Takes the snap, looks left, complete to DeLoya, and he gets the first down right in front of the Hiller bench. So they needed 2, they got 3.
Yeah, a nice call there by the Hillers, and nice play by Kelleher and DeLoya, and they really needed that. They really needed to pick up some yardage and keep a drive going. They got to get that defense off the field for a little bit.
Kelleher now looks right, complete to number 9, tackled by Lyons. Number 32 is the leading tackler on the Panthers coming into this game. 15 tackles and 2 sacks. Gimblett with 14 tackles. Ibbotson with 13 and 2 sacks. And Mulvaney with 10 tackles as the top players for Holliston. 2nd down and 5 for the Hillers. Fake handoff to Brown. And tackle by Ibbotson. Kelleher picks up a couple, though. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Now, right here, this is where you can, playbook is wide open. You can do whatever you want because obviously they're going to be going on 4th down. The one thing, though, that you see the difference now is it looks like they're going to a shorter passing game, a quicker passing game. We talked about that with Holliston. Those long developing plays, Holliston was able to put a lot of pressure on Kelleher. Now he's just taking a couple steps back and throwing the ball right off the bat.
Clock's down at 5:55 in the first half. 14-0 Holliston. Kelleher fires left, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down and 2.
So obviously they'll be going here, I believe, on 4th down. And
they went for it on their own side of the 50. So.
And once again, I say you've got to make sure to contain. Don't let Kelleher out because at some point they're going to run him, and you want to make sure to keep him contained on the sides, and you want your blitz to come up the middle.
2 receivers to both sides of the formation for Hopkinton. Kelleher over the middle.
No,
Complete,
this
but the
is coming
whistles
back.
blow.
Yeah. False start for Hopkinton. Nice call, Los.
You know, that's why it's so hard on these big plays. Both teams gear up, and then how many times do you see that procedure penalty?
Well, you know, one of the things you got to remember, these are high school kids too. They're all excited. Everybody's it's a big game for everybody. There's all crowds here. Everybody's watching. You're on an award-winning TV station, and you know what you want to do is the kids get amped up, and they're going to make mistakes.
Kelly's kick to Gimblett, scooped up at the inside the 10, and he fights his way just across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And the Panthers will have 1st and 10 there.
Well, that was a huge tackle by Cole Salyers for the Hillers, because if he doesn't make that tackle, someone might have had a long way to go, and it might have been Mitch Gimblett. 5:28, plenty of time to score. See if Holliston comes out on the war, if they come out in the spread.
Well, you know, Hopkinton's going to be keeping their eye on number 10. And they do line up in war. Ibbotson on the left side, DeZindelet to the right. Tomaselli pitches it to Ibbotson. He fights his way off of right tackle for a couple, 2nd down.
Although sometimes Holliston does score very quickly off of war. One of the things that this will do is, what the coaches want to do is keep making some yardage, keep going down the field, and eat that clock away.
Clock running with 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the first half. Panthers up 14-0. A pair of Matt Arvanitis to Topher Ryan touchdown passes. Benson at the tailback spot. 2nd and 8. Arvanitis on the fake. Sends it out of bounds, incomplete.
I still don't know how he does that. When I see him get away from people, I still don't know. Now, that time, he didn't quite have enough time to square up, and he was passing kind of with his body kind of parallel to the line of scrimmage there, and he had to just kind of throw the ball away.
Harder for the right-hander when you're rolling to your left like that.
Absolutely. But he's able to do it, and that's one thing about him. He can pass out of the pocket, and he's just as effective passing on the move. So that's what makes him so dangerous.
So 3rd and 8 for Holliston. Nash split to the left, DeZindelet to the right. Topher Ryan and Ratcliffe in the slot to the right. Arvanitis comes back across the formation for a screenplay, but DeLoya having none of it. And they called him in the grasp. So that's going to bring up 4th down for the Panthers and force them to punt for the first time tonight.
And I'll tell you, if Lucas DeLoya was one step closer at that, he might have hit an interception and goal. The only thing that really stopped it was the way the receiver kind of boxed him out like you do in basketball on a rebound. Box him out and let him get in front of him.
So Topher Ryan, number 10, to punt for Holliston. He's got almost a 40-yard average coming into this game on the season. And he gets off a good one. Bounces at the 45, takes a Holliston bounce. And it's going to come to a rest at the Hiller 45-yard line with 3:29 to go in the first half. Panthers leading 14-0.
Great punt there by Topher Ryan, getting Holliston out of field position trouble.
Well, pulling out the record book against Hopkinton, the number Topher Ryan with 134 yards receiving moves into the number 2 spot ahead of Steve Grimwood, who had 3 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown in 1983. 2 interceptions in that 14-0 win over a previously undefeated Hiller team. You can look it up.
Thanks to Ken Dunn.
DeLoya slides to the left of the formation. Kelleher looks back to the right. Caught by number 9, slips a tackler. He's pushed out of bounds at the Panther 45, just short of a first down. That catch was by Kieran Herr, senior wide receiver. That might have been his first catch of the season. He's not on my list here. So 2nd down and 1 for the Hillers. Kelleher fires across the middle to Kerr. It pops up in the air and is incomplete. Almost looked like one of those interceptions last night in the Colts-Patriots game.
Yep. Couple of those interceptions off the hands and arms of people.
So 3rd down and 1 for Hopkinton. Down to 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half.
At that time, for maybe only the first or second time in the whole game, Kelleher had some time to sit back there and look over the field before he threw the ball. You can bet, though, it's not going to happen this time because Holliston's going to be coming at him.
Number 77, Chris O'Connell, other defensive end for the Panthers. Third and 1 for Hopkinton. Kelleher fakes it to Brown. Tries the left side, but he is thrown down. Number 32, Kevin Lyons, with the hit and tackle with a little help from his friends.
And what happened there was, as Kelleher took off, Dylan Ibbotson came in, cut him off, and made him cut back a little bit, allowed Kevin and company to come in and finish off Kelleher. Nice job, nice play by Dylan Ibbotson. And we got a timeout here.
4th and 3 for the Hillers. Kelleher looks right, pumps, throws it, incomplete, intended for Kelly.
Yeah, that, I applauded the coaching staff last time for going for 4th down. But in this situation with 2:37 left, I think I got to kind of weigh my opportunity. Am I going to be able to score in this 2:37 versus the risk-reward for thing of I'm taking a risk giving Holliston the ball at just at the 46 yard their own 46-yard line with 2:37 left in the game, left in the half. That's a really dangerous spot to put your defense in when Holliston's on offense.
So the Panthers 3 3-and-outs against Hopkinton to start this game, and then they have faced a couple of 4th downs and now turn it over on downs. They pick it up at their 46-yard line. 2:37 to go in the first half. Arvanitis with Benson in the backfield. And the handoff goes to number 21. He picks up a couple of yards close to midfield, 2nd down.
Yeah, he picked up almost 5, and you could see we're looking right down the line, the offensive and defensive line. You could see that offensive line, that surge, pushing the Hopkinton defense back. And boy, oh boy, this offensive line is really special. We knew they were in these other games they played. We kind of wonder how they would do in this test. Well, so far, so good.
DeZindelet and Nash to the left of the formation. Arvanitis hands it off to Benson. He breaks through to the 2nd level. Knocked out of bounds by Brown inside the 20-yard line. Panthers in the red zone.
Well, there you go. Again, it's that line and that running style of Tristan Benson. Once again, he has the strength to run between the tackles or go outside, but he's got that speed. And when he gets out in front, he's tough to catch. Now all you got to do is face, while Tristan takes a little breather, now you got to face Dylan Ibbotson. Boy, it's a tough 1-2 punch for these other teams to try and defend these two kids.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 19-yard line. Arvanitis gives it to Ibbotson, right between the tackles for a couple.
Now, Holliston, I believe.
And again, Jay, I'm fooled. I see Ibbotson hit the line. I say, oh, he didn't really go very far. But as you said, that offensive line is getting such a drive. That was a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, Tom. You're looking at the fakes that he does. He carries them out so well that a lot of time he's faking us out too. 1:20 left to go in the first half.
2nd down and 5 for the Panthers. They go to Ibbotson again. And a great drive forward by number 22, and it's 1st and goal for the Panthers with 1:09 to go, and they lead 14-0.
From here, that looked like Dylan just leaped over the line and picked up 3 or 4 yards. If he did that long, if I'm the track coach, I'm looking for him to run the hurdles for me.
1st and goal from the 5. Benson into the game. Handoff to number 21. Looks like he picked up 1 or 2. It's going to be 2nd down and goal. Holliston's going to have to take a timeout with 46 seconds to go in the half. So the Panthers go with 2. Go with tight end Ryan to the right. Benson in the backfield. Fake to Benson. Arvanitis tries to turn the corner. Touchdown, Panthers!
And that's the result of carrying out very efficiently and effectively all those fakes, because sooner or later what happens is the defense says, oh, he's just going to fake. I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to look at him. And he has the speed to do it. In the pros and the college now, they talk about this RPO, run pass option thing. Well, when you play that kind of a game, you have to have a very, very intelligent quarterback who can see the whole field. He's got to have great vision, can see the whole field, and figure out, should I pass it or should I give it off or should I keep it? He made the right decision there.
And Mulvaney's kick, history in the making as he moves with 33 career extra point attempts, or extra point kicks. He now moves to 7th all-time in the Panther record book. Try that one out, Ken Dunn for size. But the Panthers on the board, 21-0. Their lead over the Hopkinton Hillers with 37 seconds to go in the first half. Matt Arvanitis, his 5-yard run was the first touchdown of his Panther career.
Well, good for him, and congratulations to him on that. He hasn't really had to, because the way he's been running this offense so efficiently, that the way he's been passing and the way his running backs have been running, he really hasn't needed to do it. But right there, as I said, I think what happens is it's that effect of great, great fake, and sooner or later they say, oh, he's just going to fake it. Well, they don't fake it. He hands it off, and he comes in, and he's able to score. Really nice job. I'm telling you, this kid is not only a good ball player, he's incredibly intelligent. And his football knowledge is, I just look at him and I say, wow, he's really special.
Well, one of the things I love about this team, and here's Mulvaney's kick, goes to Brown, taking about the 12-yard line. And he's wrapped up around the 30-yard line. What I was going to say is the way Coach Kiley, Coach Kiley played a little bit of quarterback, mostly a defensive back here at Holliston High School, graduating in 1989. But he went on to be a quarterback at Westfield State, a very successful quarterback. And he coaches every quarterback we've seen come into this program, coaches them up to the best of their ability with that on-field smarts.
Look, I'll be honest, we coming into this year, we really didn't know what to expect. Was Matt going to do it? Who was going to do it? We saw him this summer, and Coach Kiley said he had 4 kids who could play quarterback. Balls into the ground. And,
Kelleher's got 25 seconds to work with here in the first half.
He's got 4 kids, and, we've already seen this so far this year. We've seen Matt Avanitis. We've seen Henry Naughton. We saw
Brian Gary was out there.
Gary was out there last week, and Matt Tomaselli. So he does have them, but this kid, this junior, he really can do it all. He's the real deal.
Well, that's the other thing, is the way they try to build depth at every position, Jay, and Holliston being successful with doing just that this year.
And it doesn't hurt to have a great offensive line in front of you.
It doesn't. Pitch to Brown, tries for the outside. He got tackled inbounds after a short gain.
I'm sure Los will come up with it in a second to see, but on the ground, the running game, I don't think Hopkins has very many yards.
3rd and 5, and the clock is running.
Well, Jay, they have 37 total yards, 9 of those on the ground.
Wow, impressive.
Well, that'll do it in the first half as the clock hits all zeros. But it's been nothing but sunshine for the Panthers as they head to the locker room with a 21-0 lead over the Hopkinton Hillers. We'll be back with second half action in a few minutes. Teams are on the field. Connor Mulvaney ready to kick us off here to start the second half. Deloya and Matt Brown deep for the Hillers. Brown has the ball bounce at his feet at the 15. Kevin Lyons in the middle of that mix, involved in the tackle. I didn't see who else. I bet him in number 8, Crichton McKay.
Well, this is the point in the game, Tom, where Holliston's got to come out and really reassert themselves again. They want to make sure that you play a complete game. They played an incredible first half, but you've got to. One thing I think they learned in the Norton game is you just can't take that for granted. You've got to come out here and kind of keep the old saying, keep the pedal to the metal and keep the pressure on them. I'm sure defensively that's what you're going to see in this first set of downs.
Panthers go with just Crowley, Elliott, and Harding up front for Holliston. Kelleher rolls right, fires to Deloya, and he fights his way across the 40 for a first down.
And once again, where Kelleher has been the most successful is on those really quick passes, those short, quick passes, gets into his receivers and lets them run a little bit with him.
So first down at the Hiller 40-yard line. Kelly split to the right, 3 receivers grouped to the left of the formation. Kelleher looks left, fires, complete to Deloya. And the big senior captain crosses midfield to the Panther 47, and another first down.
And so far, Holliston's just been running rushing those 3 linemen, who, by the way, are really, really good 3 linemen. I mean, you got Crowley and Harding and Elliott there. They can do a number by themselves on the 5 offensive linemen. But you're going to have to put some pressure on Kelleher, and if he's going to do these quick passes, you're going to have to hit the receivers and don't let them free off the line.
2 receivers to both sides of the formation. Kelleher looking deep. Nobody open, going to run it. Scrambles away, up the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 25, and a first down for Hopkinton. So Hiller's clicking on 3 plays to start the second half here. Clock stopped with 10:02 to go in the third quarter. And a timeout on the field. So trips to the right of the formation. Kelleher rolls left. Fires complete to Deloya. He's gone. Touchdown Hillers. So the second half starts well for Hopkinton. 4 plays, and they go 70 yards.
Well, the other thing that does, it gives them momentum, gives them hope. They say, okay, hey, we can come down and score quickly, which they did in just a little bit more than a minute here. 9:52 left in the third quarter. It's 21-6. Hopkinton sets up for the extra point.
Extra point is up and good. So with just really 1 minute gone, 9:52 left in the third quarter, Hopkinton's on the board. It's 21-7, Holliston in the lead.
And we told you how good Kelleher was as a quarterback, and what happens when someone like that who's had all the passing feats that he's had over the course of these years. he can get hot, and he can get hot really quickly. And and with DeLoya as his receiver, he's just sending DeLoya out, 8-10 yards, turn around, get him the ball, and let him do the rest. So Holliston's going to have to do something to correct that on defense.
That's Kelleher's 6th touchdown of the season. His career all-time leading Hiller, leading 38th touchdown pass. DeLoya, that's his 5th TD of the season for Hopkinton. So Holliston took one on the chin there to start the second half. Now they get the ball to see what they can't do with it. Back on offense. Kelly's kick is high. Gimblett takes it at the 15. Headed to the right, then to the left. Finally gets tackled just short, just across the 25, maybe to the 27-yard line.
Well, 9:43 left to go in the third. Holliston up 21-7. Let's see if they can answer the scoring drive that Hopkinton just had.
They spot the ball at the Panther 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
You got to be careful. You want to hold that nice, comfortable 2 or 3 possession lead because anything can happen in these games.
Arbonitis with Benson in the backfield. Handoff to Benson. Tristan forward for a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Nice 4-yard gain by Tristan, and once again, it's that you put your hands of your game in this offensive line, and they're good and they're strong, and they've controlled everything so far. Holliston's hoping that they can keep this going and eat up some clock, get down there and score another touchdown and get that comfortable lead back. But right now, Hopkinton's a little bit fired up.
2nd down and 6 for Holliston. Arbonitis fakes it to Benson, looks down the middle of the field. He's got Anthony DeZindelit. And the ball's knocked away by DeLoya. Almost connected there for another big gain.
Well, there's 2 of the top receivers in the Tri-Valley League going at each other right there, DeLoya and DeZindelit. And Anthony DeZindelit almost came up with that pass. DeLoya did a nice job to catch up to him and break it up.
So 3rd down and 7. Or a long 6. See where they mark it. They got it. Coach Kiley with the signal. DeZindelit and Ryan to the right. Nash to the left. Arbonitis fires, complete to Billy Nash. He turns the corner up the sidelines and pushed out of bounds at the Hiller 40, and a 1st down for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's a quick play I'm talking about. And, Matt Arbonitis does have a nice arm, and he was able to throw that one right on a line to Billy Nash, and Billy took the ball, made a turn, and did the rest, picking up a big 1st down for Holliston, get him into Hopkinton territory.
That's his 6th catch of the season.
With that last pass, the Panthers go over 300 yards on the night. They have 306.
Wow.
Thank you, Los. They're averaging 309, so they're right on track offensively. They could take over this game if they answer the Hiller score right now.
Yeah, this movement on Holliston, they got the lineman got set and then picked himself back up again. So 5-yard penalty.
So 1st and 15. 8:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. 21-7 your score. Panthers with the lead.
We haven't even had 3 minutes go by yet in this 3rd quarter, and actually 2.5 minutes, and already we've had a lot of plays.
Reverse handoff to Benson, and he gets back 10 yards, maybe 12. What a run by number 21.
Well, what he did that time was he got hit really early, and then, this old yards after contact, he made about 10 yards after contact right there, and he took the tackle, and the tackler didn't pull him down. He was trying to whip him around a little bit, and Tristan just kept his balance and was able to get an extra 3 or 4 or 5 yards.
2nd and 3 for Holliston. Ball's at the 33-yard line of the Hillers.
Yeah, this is a great down. 2nd, 3, 3rd, 2nd short, 3rd short. Coach Kiley loves it. It gives him a chance to use all the plays in his book.
Zendelet to the right, Nash to the left. Ratcliffe slides over. Handoff to Benson. He's hit right away by number 34. The middle linebacker for Hopkinton. I'll let you say that last name, Jay.
Andrews Saparocious.
Of course.
I think. Andrew, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I said the wrong way. Whatever it is, Andrew, you made a great tackle there.
So 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. No gain on the play. They move to the right hash. Fake to Benson. Arvanitis rolls right, left, puts it up deep to the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers!
You got to see this play. You got to see this play to Topher Ryan. That ball was put where only Topher Ryan could catch it. That was an incredible pass. It was just lofted. We've talked before about what a nice pass he throws. If you've ever been a receiver in football, you really appreciate when your quarterback can throw a very nice pass, easy to catch. That's exactly what Matt Arvanitis did there. Great job by Matt and Topher.
Mulvaney lines up for the extra point. And number 4 with a strong kick is 4 for 4 in the point afters, and the Panthers answer the Hiller touchdown here to start the second half. It's 28-7, Holliston in the lead.
And we talked about Matt Arvanitis, how he has really good football intelligence and how he can see the whole field and pick it out. Well, Matt Arvanitis could have run for a first down there, but he saw an opportunity where he felt he could get that ball in there, and he did. And boy, I'll tell you, I don't want to say it's a dangerous pass to throw, but it's a very tough pass to throw to complete, and he just put it right in. I mean, that ball just lofted right into Topher's arms.
Well, threes are wild for Matt Arvanitis. He started the season with 3 touchdown passes to number 5, Anthony DeZindelet, and then now tonight he's doubled up with 3 touchdown passes to number 10, Topher Ryan.
And that's why he's doubled up. He went from 5 to 10. 6:51 left to go in the third quarter. Holliston answers in about 2 minutes on a really nice drive, 28-7.
Well, it was really important for the Panthers to make a statement on that drive after Hopkinton scored so quickly coming out of the locker room. Mulvaney's kick taken at the 15 by Brown. And Mulvaney's the one that puts a shoulder on him after he crosses the 40-yard line to the 43.
Now, a lot went bad for Hopkinton there. That what they didn't want to do was that Holliston scored. The only good thing was Holliston scored so quickly that there's still 6:41 left to go in the third quarter here. But the Holliston defense now is just going to have to take over and get a stop here.
Well, Holliston probably got the best that Hopkins could throw at him right there. And what we saw was a lot of Luke DeLoria. Kelleher went to him 3 times in that drive. And across the middle to DeLoria again.
Oh, what you have to do in this case is you really cannot let him off the line on a quick opener like that. You're going to have to put your hands on him and make him fight a little bit and break up that timing. Once that timing is broken up a little bit, you'll be fine. But if he's going to get free off the line and get to an open spot, and the way Kelleher is throwing the ball to him right now, it's going to be another quick score.
But they're hiding him in this trips formation to the left-hand side. Number 7, DeLoya in the slot to the left, 2nd down and 2. Kelleher rolls the other way, right, and connects to Kelly. He's inbounds at the Panther 45, and another first down for the Hillers. So Hopkinton mixing it up by going to Deloya and then away from him.
And even though they're not running what you would call a quick offense, the plays themselves are taking very little time. It's one of those things where he gets the ball and the ball's out of his hands in, a couple of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds.
So 2 receivers to the right. Deloya in the slot to the left.
Here's the blitz.
Across the middle, incomplete. Well defended by number 32, Kevin Lyons. And who else was up there? That was number 24, Gimblett. So they did put the double team on Deloya that time.
Yeah, and what you can do, the other thing you can do is you can take your interior linemen and drop them back into those passing lanes and just attack the off the corners. You can go in and attack the quarterback that way and get those big arms. Those guys with big arms, get them up there and kind of take away those passing lanes in the middle. It's just another option you can do defensively.
Second down and 10. 5:24 to go in the third quarter. 28-7 Holliston. Trips to the left. Kelleher fires to the left. Again, they sort of use that screen as Salyard, number 3, makes the catch.
And you got to be a little careful because even though they're making good yardage on this, at some point they're going to go deep. So you really have to kind of watch out too. You can't let your safety suck in too much and get too close because one of those receivers can make a turn and go upfield. It's a good drive by Hopkinton.
Third down and 2. Clock running with 4:48 to go in the third quarter. Kelleher's got his trips to the right. Salyard in motion. Kelleher rolls right, looks downfield. Incomplete. Number 12, Matt Tomaselli, was draped all over Deloya.
Well, Deloya almost came up with one of those Odell Beckham Jr. one-hand deals there. Nice effort by Deloya.
So we're down. The clock stopped with 4:29 here in Holliston. Take that as a good omen on 4th down and 2. And thank you to all our viewers watching us on Facebook Live. Hope you're enjoying this Panther football here on Friday night. Kelleher on 4th down. Incomplete. And that's the Hillers are going to turn it over on downs again as the Panthers hold.
Well, what happened there was Holliston really came at him with a blitz. And, if they're going to spread the field with those wide receivers, it does leave those tackles. They're going to have to, stop. They're not getting a chip on any of these safeties or linebackers that are coming in. So it's really up to those tackles. If they can't move quick enough to come out and stop that blitz, now the table's turned in Holliston's favor, and that's exactly what they did those last couple of plays.
So Panthers with the ball at their own 35-yard line with 4:22 to go in the third quarter. And the Panthers are ready to go to war. Matt Tomaselli in at quarterback. Ibbotson on the left. DeZindelet on the right wing. Hathey the fullback. They go to DeZindelet. He slashes off the left side for a couple. Second down.
28-7, Holliston in the lead with the ball. 4:05 coming up. Left to go in this third quarter.
Coach Kiley switches up, brings out his spread set here on second down and 8.
You want to hang in there. Don't go getting any popcorn or go anywhere in between these quarters. We got a really cool historical game we're going to tell you about that Holliston played against Hopkinton.
Arvanitis with Benson behind him. Handoff to Benson. Bounces it to the outside. Number 21's got a first down. And Deloya pushes him out of bounds in front of the Hiller bench.
that's just being a running back. That's a good running back. He got hit early. He kind of went off it a little bit, noticed the opening to the outside, used his speed to get to the outside and get a first down. That's a big first down for Holliston. Now they keep eating up some clock here, keep getting more field position.
3:16 clock is running here in the third quarter. 28-7 Panthers. Right at midfield, they've got first down. And Holliston's going to have to take a timeout with 2:57 to go in the third quarter, leading 28-7. Topher Ryan, tight end to the right. DeZindelet to the right. Number 13, Teddy Ratcliffe in the slot with Nash split to the left. A handoff to Benson. And Hillers just blew that play up for a loss of 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the Hillers coming off that left-hand side.
Well, they've got to take some gambles on defense too, Jay.
They do. Because, you say, well, there's still 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. But what you got to remember is they're 3 possessions down, so they got to possess the ball 3 times. If Holliston keeps getting first downs, and that come off the clock, and then they have to score another touchdown, well, then it's pretty much going to be over.
So second down and 13. Arvanitis on the fake. Throws it out of bounds, intended for Ratcliffe. Let's see, Lowe says intentional grounding.
Yeah, that's also a loss of down here. So he's explaining, the ref just explained it to Matt. So it'll be loss of down in the penalty.
So the ref's talking it over with Coach Kiley about the decision there. Trying to get some clarification on the call.
See, I think the mix-up is that he was out of the tackle box. He was out of there, but I think the ball has to go at least to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's the pro rule, Jay.
I think it's a high school rule too. I'm getting confirmation on that.
So they're going to back it up to the spot of the foul?
From where he throws the ball.
So the ball is at the Panther 34, and it's going to be third down and 26. Makeable. It's makeable.
Yep. 2 down territory, get to the 50. And
where's Topher Ryan? Looks like Hopkinton's coming, and they do come on the blitz. Arvanitis steps up, puts it out for Nash. And he was well defended out there. And that'll bring up fourth down for Holliston.
We talk a lot about the offensive line and how they just control the line of scrimmage. Well, they bought 2 extra guys that time. Hopkinton did. No one got near Arvanitis. That was a nice job of picking up those blocks by the offensive line, the running backs, and the tight end. 1:53 left to go in the third here. Holliston leading 28-7.
So Holliston forced to punt. Ryan back to punt for the Panthers. He gets off a nice spiral. And it takes a Panther bounce all the way inside the 20. And it's going to go all the way to the 16-yard line. So Hopkinton has 1:35 left in the third quarter, but they trail by 21. Holliston in the lead, 28-7.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns by Topher Ryan and 2 great punts. This is the Topher Ryan party, I think, tonight here. He's really done a great job all over the place. And also, as I said earlier, that block, he blocked a couple of those blitzers
And we've had some great tight ends here in Holliston. We've seen some great tight end play. Paul Beeling comes to mind.
Yes.
Andrew Kime comes to mind as some good hands guys. But Ryan having a spectacular, and there comes Chris O'Connell on the blitz, but they dump it off to Brown. He picks up 3 or 4 on the screen pass.
Well, I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a screen pass or not, only because Chris O'Connell was the only one that blew through the line. Nobody else blew through unless they all read it. But Chris O'Connell really put some nice pressure on. Made Keller have to go throw going backwards.
Well, they give Matt Brown 5 yards on the play. Second down. We're down to a minute to go in the third quarter. And trips with DeLoya, the last one stacked in the back of the right. Kelleher hits the brakes, takes off, picks up a first down, and is stopped with a hard hit.
And that's what you got to be careful of him running. Now, what Holliston did a very nice job of is they contained him. They made him stay in the middle of the field where some other players were there to make the tackle. But, Kelleher can do that.
So ball's at the 34-yard line of Hopkinton. Down to 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Twin receivers to both sides. Holliston comes on the blitz. Kelleher steps up, but so does number 57, Captain Will Crowley, for the sack. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. The Panthers leading the Hillers 28-7. So second down and 15 as we start the fourth quarter. Kelleher rolls left, fires, incomplete. Looked like number 12, Tomaselli, got a hand on it to knock it away.
Okay, so after Holliston turned the ball over to Hopkinton, on the very next play, Hopkinton fumbled at their own 10-yard line, and Holliston recovered for a first and goal. The Hopkinton defense again stopped Holliston on 4 downs, this time at the 5-yard line. With time running out, Hopkinton only needed to run a couple of plays to kill the clock and win the game. But wait, Hopkinton then fumbled the ball. Holliston recovered at the 15-yard line with only 10 seconds left. I'll get back to the end in a minute.
Third down and 15 for Hopkinton. DeLoya is split in the middle. 3 receivers to Kelleher's left. He goes back to the right. One-on-one coverage. And a nice catch there by number 12, Brendan Kelly. And a first down for Hopkinton.
Let me finish this out. On first down, with 10 seconds left, Maitland ran the ball down to the 5-yard line. There were only 3 seconds left in the game, and Holliston trailed by 6 points when Maitland threw the ball into heavy coverage, and the pass was caught by Jim Lamusio for a miraculous Holliston TD, and Holliston went on to win the South Central League title with a 4-0-1 record. Great game.
That's great. A touchdown pass with no time left on the clock. 1962. The first and 10 for Hopkinton. Ball at the 34. Kelleher fires, knocked away there by Schneelock. Good coverage by the Panthers.
Okay, 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this ball game. Holliston still with a 3-possession lead, 28-7, and Hopkinton's on the march. I mean, this is a good Hopkinton team. They're really not. I was really kind of surprised at the 21-0 score at halftime because Holliston can score, and they can play good defense. So, we knew at some point we figured maybe at some point it was going to turn into a game here.
So second down and 10. Empty backfield for Kelleher.
Oh, that's what I want to see.
Knocked up in the air.
That's what I want to see.
David Harding got in that passing lane.
David
nice
Harding.
Job by number 51.
That's exactly what I wanted to see. How many times do I talk about that? If you can't get to the quarterbacks, get those hands up and block those passing lanes. That was a great job by him forcing a third down. Now, this is 2-down territory for Hopkinton with 10:13 left to go in the game.
So 3rd and 10, but Harding really took a Kelleher bullet for the
nice.
team there.
Almost a candidate for the running lineman award right
Yeah,
there.
well, if he caught that, David Harding would have been.
Almost the Matt Mealy running line. Yeah.
We haven't had one yet this year.
We have not had a candidate.
And that's the most coveted award from the Holliston football program.
Well, one of them.
Well, okay.
3rd and 10, Hopkinton.
The blitz is on.
Kelleher fires it.
Did he
Down
catch
the
that?
right sideline,
Oh,
incomplete.
Wow.
Tomaselli was there step for step with DeLoya. And that brings up 4th down and 10.
Elliott and Keese there had met at that quarterback. What a nice job by them to put the pressure on Kelleher and make him throw the ball a little early.
So there's still 10 minutes and 6 seconds left in this game. Panthers up 28-7, but Hopkinton feeling some desperation to get a first down here.
Panthers are 1 for 4 on 4th down tonight, guys.
They gotta get their hands on DeLoya here, and Ibbetson's covering him man to man.
And we got a timeout on the field. So 4th and 10 for the
Wow, Keese out of nowhere.
And there's the blitz, and just enough to knock Kelleher off his spot. And it's incomplete, and the Panthers take over on downs.
I got to tell you, there's something about that Keese family. Something runs in that family. Boy, did he come. I mean, he timed that absolutely perfectly. He timed his run. He didn't have to stop. He came right through the line and didn't give Kelleher a chance at all to set and throw the ball.
So the Panther defense holds again. And we're down to 9:59 to go here in the 4th quarter. Panthers looking to close this out with their offense.
Now, I'm guessing they'll go to war here. Let's see
And
if
they
do.
are.
Yep.
As they break the huddle, I can tell. The personnel they've got out there.
And they're looking to pick up now 2 or 3 first downs and get some little better field position here.
So Matt Tomaselli, number 12, in at quarterback. DeZindelet on the right wing. Ibbetson on the left. They pitch it to Ibbetson. And Hopkinton snuffs that one out for a loss on the play. 2nd down. Coach Kiley switches up to his spread formation personnel. Oh, I think Cecil Wright talking about Ron LaPointe back from the 70s, went to Penn State as far as top tight ends. We just didn't cover that, Cecil, back with in HCAT.
No one's as old as Cecil.
2nd down and 12 for Holliston. Hand off to Benson. Bounces it to the outside. Cuts it up between a couple of Hopkinton defenders and gets very close to a Panther first down at the 45.
Yeah, when he cut it up, what he really did 2 things. One was he was able to stay in bounds. They want that clock to keep running. And 2, he was able to come up and make the first down. Nice run by Tristan Benson.
So the clock's running, 8:45 to go here in the game. Panthers are going to have 10 seconds to go on the play clock. They're going to have to hustle. And Coach Kiley takes the timeout with 8:28 to go in the game, leading 28-7. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Handoff to Ibbetson. He takes a hit and spins off it, gets close to the 50-yard line. 2nd down.
Good to see Tristan Benson back in there. It looked like he got a little nicked up, but he's back and running. It might have just been a cramp.
So 2nd down and 5. We're down to 8 minutes to go in the game. Panthers taking their time. They're going to wait Arvanitis is going to wait for the referee to raise his arm to say there's just 10 seconds to go on the play clock before he starts his snap sequence. There it is. Handoff to Benson, hits the right side, keeps the legs churning, and he's got a first down at the Hiller 45.
Yeah, and with 7.5 minutes left, that's a big first down. You know, at some point here, Hopkinton is either going to have to start calling some timeouts, or Holliston's just going to run another 2 or 3 minutes off the clock, and that's just going to just about do it. Well, 7.5 minutes left to go in this game.
Tip of the cap to Lynch, Affey, Elliott, Crowley, Burchard for the Panthers. They are doing the job along with Topher Ryan and Connor Mulvaney, getting the big push up front. Arvanitis to Benson. Benson keeps driving. He's got 2 yards. Second down. We're under 7 minutes to go.
You know, talk for a minute about the 2 captains, Will Crowley and Scott Elliott. They are really special. I mean, these 2 kids, we interviewed them on the preseason show, you know, and very impressed. I really like. They kind of almost look like they play off of each other, you know, in the very focused. You know, you can tell they're in the weight room. They're, you know, just really, really good leaders of this ball club.
2nd and 8. Hand off to Benson, right side, dances it through a couple of defenders and breaks away up the sidelines. And he's inside the 10-yard line for a Panther first down.
Oh, he's so good, so good. And when he gets out front, he can run with the best of them. And, boy, he's doing a number tonight. I'm sure we're going to hear from Lowe's how many yards he has, but he's got a lot of them.
They actually mark it at the 11. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Holliston. Clock with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game.
That's 176 yards for Tristan Benson tonight.
Wow.
Wow.
It's possible to have a 200-yard rusher and a 200-yard quarterback here.
He's closing in on Dan Barone's 240 yards in 2010. And another timeout, Holliston. Arvanitis waits for the signal, hands off to Benson right between the guards, and he's inside the 10-yard line. 2nd down. Well, Panther offense is doing its job right now, which is ground and pound. That clock is just continuing to tick away.
And this is what I talked about a couple times already tonight, is that, you know, late in the game, this is what happens when you have that superb offensive line who keeps pounding away at that defensive line. Sooner or later, the offensive line is going to win and the defensive line is going to tire. And, you know, Holliston's going to come away with a lot of yardage.
Arvanitis to Benson again. Bounces it to the outside. Takes a hit, but picks up another yard. And that'll be 3rd down for Holliston. Ball's at the 9-yard line.
He caused 2 or 3 guys to miss there. He was able to come out and had, I think, like three people take a shot at him, and all 3 of them missed him.
More importantly, the clock keeps rolling. We're under 5 minutes to go. Panthers leading 28-7. Arvanitis looking for the end zone. Sneaks away from a couple of Hillers. Now he's going to tuck the ball and run. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 4. That stops the clock with 4:27 to go. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and short.
Kick a field goal here?
Well, if he kicked a field goal, interesting, the record for longest field goal, Jay, against Hopkinton. 1977, a classmate of mine, Mark Savino, in the second quarter, kicked a 32-yard field goal into the wind.
Wow.
And the Panthers beat the Hillers 3-0 on that day here at Comedian Field.
Do you have the record for attendance, too?
You know, I tell you, a great crowd here tonight.
It
for
really
sure.
is. Really is something.
Now, what did they call holding on that play? So that backs the Panthers up. They get to do third down over again. Be third down and 11. Ball on the 12. Arbonitis hands it off to Benson. He tries to hit the corner. Gets down to the 6. But stop the clock by getting out of bounds. So it's going to be... And Coach Kiley is calling for a field goal. So out comes Connor Mulvaney and the special teams crew.
Now, what happens here, Tom, is that this, if he kicks this just like he would an extra point, he's going to have no problem with this at all. It's sometimes, as a kicker, especially the young kickers, what they do is they say, well, I got to kick it a little harder because I got to get a little further. But not at all. He just kick a regular extra point here, and he'll get his field goal.
This will be a 24-yarder. Mulvaney's kick is up and just wide. So with 4:15 to go in the game, Panthers lead 28-7. Hopkinton will have the ball deep in their own territory. Well, Mark Savino will be glad to know his record stands against Hopkinton. Actually, I didn't see him at our 40th reunion. I think he's
probably still celebrating having on the record. Yeah, Mercury Morris. Every time they have that, somebody loses, right? There's no more winners. Mercury Morris from that undefeated Dolphins team.
That's right.
Okay, as Tom said, 4:15 left to go in this ball game. 28-7, Holliston in the lead, Hopkinton with the ball. And I think you don't have to play the run here.
Kelleher hands it off. And a quick tackle by, that was Mitch Gimblett coming up for the tackle.
Well, that's a very interesting call. The clock is still running, not calling a timeout. So I think what coach is saying over there, the Hopkinton coach is saying it's over.
Well, these two teams were ready to go toe-to-toe tonight. Holliston was the one who got stopped on their first drive tonight, but then they made the next two count for a 14-0 lead. And Holliston stopping Hopkinton for a short gain. Third down.
Coming up on 3:20 left to go in this ball game. And as a good friend of yours would say, it's on to Norwood.
That'll be next Saturday at 1 o'clock down at Norwood, which we hope to bring to you as well on Facebook Live. Looks like it's not going to rain, so that's good.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Kelleher with the pitch. And Hopkinton picks up the first down on a 3rd down and 6. Down to 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go.
Well, so we talked a little bit about the opportunity to possibly win the TVL Large title. I mean, Holliston's still got 2 more games with Norwood and Ashland. But the main thing is on this win, this puts them in the playoffs, right? And now they'll be playing for a seeding position, which is very, very important because Holliston's playoff record here at home is just incredible.
The Panthers are 10-0 at home in the playoffs. No gain, 2nd down. Just one more great from the past. Scoring leader, 4 touchdowns in 1973. Cecil Wright will remember this one. Quarterback Gary Peter Kuski who later went on to be a defensive back with 4 interceptions at Penn State, had 4 touchdowns in a 30-6 win over the undefeated Hopkinton Hillers. See the Holliston, there's a theme there. Five-yard gain brings up 3rd down. But the Tri-Valley League Large, Hopkinton said as much, that it was coming through them this year. Hopkinton, Ashland with the upset last week. Holliston with the statement game here against the Hillers tonight. And, the defending champs have taken another one on the chin.
Yeah, well, this is a really good Holliston ball club, and we kind of said this is going to be a test for them. They passed it with flying colors.
Down to 57 seconds to go. And the scrum pile crosses the 45 for a first down by the Hillers.
Coming inside of a minute, I'd like to thank a bunch of people who have helped us here tonight. Owen Radcliffe and Chris McNerney down on the cameras. Of course, Don Cronin and Bruce Guilfoy in the big truck. And the lovely Lisa up top there in the camera. Very cold night up there, Lisa. You've done a great job.
Steve Hedrick on the whiteboard.
Steve Hedrick, yeah. Then he went home. There was no moon to take a picture of tonight, so he didn't care.
So first down, big hit. 32, Kevin Lyons.
Also want to thank all our Facebook listeners. And remember, as Tom said, next week it's a Saturday game. I believe does it start at 1? Do you
1
know?
o'clock, yeah.
1 o'clock.
And so the Panthers go to 4-0 with a 28-7 win over the Hopkinton Hillers. Hopkinton drops to 2-3. But more important, the Panthers keep their train rolling after now 3 weeks in a row of great football.
Right, and it's been the same recipe they've used all year. That great, just stifling defense, the really, really powerful offensive line, in that running and passing game. Those guys in the running and passing game have just really done a great job. Tristan Benson with a big game. Dylan Ibbotson on a lot of nice runs. Of course, Matt Avanitis did a nice job out there. And of course, probably the star of the game tonight is tight end Topher Ryan.
Well, and tip of the hat to the Greek. He did say 28-13.
28-7.
Right? Good call out there, Bob.
He doesn't trust that defense as much as we do.
Keep that crystal ball going.
That's the difference.
Well, Coach Kiley with his 133rd victory, and the Panthers go to 46-7 here at Comedian Field in the last 9 years. And now it's time for Loose and the final lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. It's all over from Comedian Field with the final score: Holliston 28, Hopkinton 7. Panthers really dominated this one on the stat sheet. 425 total yards of offense. Hopkinton, hung in there with 215 yards of their own, but hard to compete with over 400 yards of total offense. Just a shy under 200. They had 199 yards passing from Matt Arvanitis, but they really got it done on the ground. 226 yards rushing, combined effort from Tristan Benson and Dylan Ibbotson. Specifically for the Panthers, Matt Arvanitis was 7 of 16 for 199 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, all 3 of those touchdowns to Ryan Topher. He had 4 catches for 167 yards tonight, including those aforementioned 3 touchdown passes. Not to be outdone, Tristan Benson, 185 yards on 22 carries tonight, a long carry of 31 yards. Also, Matt Arvanitis with a rushing touchdown of his own. I thought it was going to be a kind of a quarterback duel tonight, and Ryan Kelleher really had a much better performance in the second half than he did in the first half. In the end, he was 13 of 32 for 147 yards, including 1 touchdown, no interceptions. The leading rusher for the Hillers tonight was Ryan Kelleher. He had 38 yards. Cameron Mulvaney had 27 yards as well. And the leading receiver for the Hillers was Luke DeLoya. He had 73 yards on 6 catches. Defensively for the Panthers, the leading tackler was Kevin Lyons. Again, being a force on defense, he had 8 tackles, a quarterback hurry, and a pass breakup, just really getting it done for the Panthers tonight. Christian Shelock, Dylan Ibbotson checking in with multiple tackles as well. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCatFootball, and that's the lowdown.
Okay, Los, thank you very much. Once again, Holliston wins 28-7. They clinch a playoff spot. Because of this, they're going to Norwood next week, and then it's Ashland back here for maybe a tilt against 2 undefeated teams going for a league championship.
One game at a time, Jay.
One game at a time. Good night, Tom. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.